I seem to have lost an officer, so I'm going to replace that officer. I need to make sure, well, looks like I'm going to lose a perk. Now I'm checking to make sure that sometimes the game will give you kind of hidden perks where you leveled up enough that you get another unit perk, but the game doesn't tell you. Okay, for second corps I didn't take any losses. Now I'm just topping off my artillery. Not buying any guns, I'm just topping off the artillery. And yeah, might as well just go back into the battle. First corps doesn't participate in this anyway, so I always have officers on the bench in case I take losses in my officer corps. So this is the second day of Gettysburg. And what I like to do here is just pull the troops back and blast away at the advancing enemy. I do this because I have an enormous number of reinforcements coming in, and I would just as soon have the battle take place where the reinforcements come in. And we can do that. The artillery doesn't have far to move, and what I can do is just push up the artillery, and then we have probably an hour and a half just to blast away with the artillery. And I'm always thinking about getting experience for my artillery units. And if you're attacking, it's really hard for the artillery to keep up. Now, some units keep up better than others. So the light 6-pounders they move really fast, so they can keep up a lot easier than the heavy guns. And of course, it depends on how much stamina and how much speed these units have too. So a 3-star unit does much better than a, no-star unit. So anyway, just want to fall back, bring in my reinforcements, roll up the artillery, and just pile on as much artillery damage as I can, getting as much easy experience from my artillery as I can. And then, because I'm always thinking about leveling up my units, keeping my units in good cover, and getting a lot of XP, easy experience for my infantry. And then toward the end, I usually think in terms of the last hour of the phase. Beginning my attack. At the beginning of every phase, the AI units are full of energy and high condition, high morale, and they are going to attack. And then you inflict losses on these guys, and then they lose morale, they lose efficiency, they lose condition, and if you kill the officers, they can't recover. So killing the officers is really crucial. And if you manage to kill the enemy officers and you've inflicted losses on the enemy units, like this guy right now on roller skates, going uphill, he's charging uphill faster than I can charge downhill. This guy is only able to do this in the beginning of the battle. If you kill the officers and you drop his condition and morale to 0, this guy can't do this. So the goal is just to inflict a bunch of losses on the enemy and wear them down and exhaust their condition, drive their morale into the tank so they can't even defend themselves. And then when that takes place, then counterattack and wipe them out. This is kind of just the pattern all the time, and it's just a matter of where's the best place for my units to rack up a bunch of kills to do this. That's kind of how I think about it. And I know there's a whole bunch of units coming in very shortly. And when those guys come in, instead of attacking right away, I'm going to pause, take a look at the map, find out where the enemy isn't, and then hopefully make a movement. I mean, this is what I think. Hopefully the enemy's flank will be exposed. Not the flank of a unit, but the flank of the entire army will be exposed. So it turns out that the enemy right, kind of where we're looking right now, is going to be exposed. And I don't think in terms of just rolling up the enemy line. I think in terms of getting behind the enemy position. So that's what you're going to see. And the other thing that's happening right now that I think is really important is wherever the fighting is taking place, that's where the commander needs to be. The commander allows morale, and I think condition. I keep saying this. I think condition too, but I'm not sure. Because these factors are related to each other. But the fighting is taking place over here. This guy gives a huge buff to the recovery of morale. So by placing the commander where the fighting is, the units are going to perform much, much better. So, and if it's a 3-star, they're going to move much faster too. So I really don't want these units to engage in melee. I just want them to fall back. And the neat thing is when units fall back, the AI will often stop attacking because it's trying to figure out what's going on, I guess, and calculate the next thing it needs to do. So that charging unit stopped, and now it's being hit by 2 units. And that gave me plenty of time to get a 3rd unit over here, and it's all good. So he can't stand there and take that pounding very long. My units are in very good cover. Condition is going to stay high because I'm not going anywhere. Morale is going to stay high because the commander is there. And yeah, just having a good time, inflicting lots of casualties on the enemy. Good cover, commander's there, good morale, good condition, and the condition of the enemy units is getting worse and worse with every passing second. So yeah, and the more I retreat, the closer this guy advances into flanking fire, and the closer this enemy gets to canister fire from my artillery. So every step forward for him is bad. Things just go from bad to worse. This is great. The enemy is in the some kind of a valley. I'm sure condition. I'm sure cover there is 0, so that's not gonna work very well. I like how all these units are 2 and 3 stars though. But you know, a 3-star unit with 0 condition and 0 morale is just about useless. It can't even defend itself. So these guys are all being. They might have 2 or 3 stars, but pretty soon they're going to have 0 morale, and if I can kill the officers, they're never going to recover. So, and that's what happens at the end of this. They all get wiped out. So their morale gets pushed down to 0, and then they can't fight, and they get eventually wiped out. But one of the crucial things is kill the officers, so they can't recover. Anyway, that's what you're going to see. Boy, I'd love to get a shot on Longstreet. Yes, got it. Longstreet is dead. That's a huge blow to the army. So yeah, anytime you can get a shot on the officers, take it. Absolutely spectacular. Now there is a problem with snipers, by the way. So if you build a sniper unit, sniper units are great for taking shots at officers. But officers move. So if anything moves, if a blade of grass gets in front of that officer you're taking a shot at, what happens is your sniper will race forward to its death. So that's one of the downsides of snipers is they have to be micromanaged. And because they'll do that, and you can't let them, you know, it should be a part of the programming that if something moves in front of a target that the sniper unit just picks up another target, but no, it doesn't work that way. If something moves in front of the target, your sniper unit goes all kamikaze and charges to its death. So, you know, and your unit can block you, and it's not like artillery, which can fire over your units. Your unit blocks snipers, enemy units block snipers, a blade of grass blocks snipers, anything blocks a sniper. The sniper is going to charge forward to try to get a shot on the target, which means it has to get on the other side of whatever is blocking it, which means it's going to charge right into it and kamikaze into it, and it touches anything but a supply wagon, it dies. So, you know, that's a big deal. Here I'm turning off the ammo for my artillery because the enemy is just too far away. So it's just a waste of ammo. So I'm going to conserve ammo until the enemy attacks again, and yeah, that unit's moving really fast. So that's a 2-star unit moving with some serious speed. Now I have this on double speed, but still that unit moved really fast. Though I think the lighter guns move faster, which is good to know. We're in big trouble. I don't think so. I don't think we're in big trouble, but okay. Okay, the enemy's going to attack with some new troops. I know this, so get the supply wagon moving, get the general moving. You really want the commander to be in place before the fighting starts, not as the units are about to rout. That's too late. So here the commander is right where he needs to be, and I'm trying to get the circle around as many units as possible. Yep, that's pretty good. The attack on the Confederate right has fizzled out. He's going to attack now. Oh, that worked out well. He's going to attack now on the center and his left, I think. That's typically what happens here. He has fresh troops come in. The enemy does this stupid thing where he has units sprint across the board. So they start with 100% condition, but then they sprint across the board. So by the time they get into battle, their condition is greatly reduced. That's really stupid. The AI should walk to battle and then charge only when it's within firing distance, but that's just stupid. I mean, it's just dumb. Yeah, I'm moving these guys forward because we're not defending anymore. I need to get my units into the battle as much as possible. So that guy needed to move forward to get some XP. I mean, otherwise he's going to sit back in the wooded area and not fight at all. Because the enemy was never going to get to the wooded area, to the victory location. Yep, I can do this all day. Just sit in the woods and blast away at the enemy standing in zero cover. One of the reasons that I like to, all I need to know when I label these units is what kind of weapon they have. So I'm taking a look at this. This is, I've put the efficiency of the unit on there so you can see it. But if I know that I have 1842s, I know that 1842s are better at close range and not so good at long range shots. So it's a musket and it's not rifled. So, I mean, that's how I think about it. So it has to be close to the enemy to do max damage. So when you're in a situation like this, you have to think, okay, I'd rather have a Lorenz fire at maximum distance because the Lorenz has incredible accuracy. And then the 1842 run up right next to the enemy on the flank and put in volleys. So, ooh, there my cav unit got caught. So, but what I'm doing here is I'm just standing back just to slow the enemy down. There are a couple of units, and all I need to do is just buy some time. These reinforcements are going to be overwhelming. Look at all these units of full-size stacks of one-star units, and this is just going to be, I mean, this is the benefit of just building a big army, the big army strategy. You outscale the enemy, and then when it comes to things like this, you just have so much enormous weight to your army that it's so OP. So anyway, I'll let you watch this. This is now just a matter of bringing units in, inflicting damage, and then there's 2 hours and 20 minutes left. Plenty of time to wipe out whatever is on the field facing this army. We have such an advantage. Look at the the ratio of the blue bar to the red bar now. I mean, it's completely lopsided, and yeah, it's pretty much over for the enemy, and that's how. This is the last gasp of the Confederate forces, I think. The situation just gets worse and worse for the South, and better for the North. So at the very end, I think it's 120,000 to something like 12,000 or something, enemy forces on the field. Um, I don't think lopsided is the right word for that. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the battle, and I'll see you in the next phase.